Good afternoon, Valerie Milano here from the Los Angeles, the Hollywood Times, and the Aspiring magazine. And I'm so glad to have our guest here, and I'm going to have him introduce himself. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Valerie. My name's Matt Leahy. I'm an animator from the LA area, from South Bay specifically. Yeah, so I just made a film to graduate from USC. It's called Feral. It's like this ode to like the underground queer like club scene, and how it's messy and chaotic and but also that's awesome and that's life affirming and that's necessary. So
Okay, Matt, thank you so much for joining us. So,
for sure.
what first inspired you to explore nightlife and queer
Mm.
identity through animation and feral? Was there a particular moment or memory that sparked the concept?
Mm. Um, Not so it kind of came to me after I started making it because I had like this like energy that I wanted to go for. So USC is like right next to it's basically in downtown, right? So for a while I lived in biking distance of like the whole city and you could just like bike. You could bike to the precinct, you could bike to like wherever, you know. So kind of taking a lot of that in and being able to just go out to some like weird avant-garde like night at coaxial shout out. Um but then as I kept making it, I was like, this really reminds me of my first time going to Rocky Horror and being totally freaked out at the new art, but it was awesome, and I came back like three times. So,
Yeah. So the film has such a visceral, raw energy. Can you walk
Mm,
us through your creative process, how you
sure.
approached blending abstract visuals with a loose narrative?
Yeah, for sure. Hmm. So I kind of have always been like a character animator. I just like from the jump was pretty much drawing, and then eventually I realized, oh, I can make them move and whatnot. So I've always done that, but then as I was in college, I realized, oh, I actually like this sort of like feels first, more abstract stuff. So I was kind of trying to like walk the line between those two. For like 90% of the project, the story didn't really exist. I was kind of just trying to figure out what I was doing, but I knew that I wanted a vibe. I knew I wanted it to be like aggressive and uncomfortable and to capture that feeling of being in like a space like that where you're like, I don't know what's happening. I don't know where I'm going. Um, but I'm here for the ride, like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
like 3 a.m. at catch one type of energy, you know?
yeah.
Did that answer the question?
Yeah, I remember the
Okay.
club too.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
Nightlife is shown as both destructive and
Mm,
life-affirming in your piece. How
mm.
did you balance those two contrasting ideas in just 3 minutes of storytelling?
Wow, well, thank you. Glad I succeeded. So I, how did I balance those two?
I mean, were you on a drug?
Weed, a little bit, allegedly, some may say, but honestly, that wasn't like the center of it. It was kind of like, yeah, sure, sometimes you come back from the club or whatever, and then it's like, oh God, I have my thesis film due by the end of this month, so I have to lock in and still animate, even though I am not sober right now. But honestly, that kind of helped it. It was like the experience was fresh in my mind. But yeah, I mean, it was just sort of like living my. It was not laying down a story so I could live my life, and when things maybe didn't go so good, I could be like, okay, I'm going to throw in a sequence where the character gets like eaten, and then or like, oh, I'm gonna have this scene where the main character's like stumbling their way through the crowd, being like, oh, I'm a little baby queer, like trying to figure out what, oh, how I present and whatnot, and everybody's like, ew, but eventually they get with it, and then it just sort of, it was like balancing those like story elements and whatnot with like a very seamless animation style and also this like gritty textural kind of thing.
So the central character is this
Mm.
fascinating, almost chaotic creature. What
Mm.
does that figure represent for you in terms of queer identity, fear, and desire?
Mm. Ooh, they are kind of like they're like the id. They're just out there and they're just stumbling around and like following wherever the kind of like animalistic instincts take them, right? So like I have the scene towards the beginning where they're just like just getting drunk off their ass, right? Like stuff like that. So I kind of wanted it to be like this is just like a being that doesn't have any almost like self-preservation instinct, which then comes into play later on in the film. Should I spoil?
That's up to you. I
Suppose it
mean,
is.
yeah, I mean, we can talk about that for a second because
Okay.
I know that this is going to be at the film festival. I'm not sure
Mm.
what date. Do you
Oh, it's
think that
October
it?
5th,
Okay,
7 p.m. block.
October 5th. Maybe we don't want to give it away. So
Okay.
we will
Build a
hold
little
off on
hype.
that question.
Okay.
Hopefully my review won't give anything away either.
That's all good.
I'll try to be real careful.
I appreciate it. I
But
appreciate it. I'm not sure if there's enough story that it warrants like spoilers, you know what I mean? But
sure.
I want to keep it a surprise, I think, because it's
I
fun,
got you, Matt.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
well let's try this one.
Yeah.
Since this is also a music visual, how did
Mm.
the soundtrack influence your animation choice?
Like it was the backbone of the entire structure of the piece. So I knew what style I wanted to do and I knew the visuals and whatnot I wanted to go for. Basically, so shout out to my good friend Lucy Greenberg, because she put me through to her sister, Bunny G, who is the DJ, Bunny G and her roommate, Kure, shout out. And they were basically like, hell yeah, we want to animate or like make a thing for you to animate to. And it was like, okay, let's go. So they worked on this track, and meanwhile I'd like give back notes and whatnot. But I kind of let them do that, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna just figure out along this. I'm gonna break it down very technically, and I'm gonna just like figure out, okay, what parts repeat, where is like the big drop and all that, and then try to sync this whole idea of like, okay, how does like the big drop, what does that feel like when you're in the club, right? Like it's tense. It's like whoa, whoa, but then it happens and you're like, you know, it explodes from there and you're just dancing for like however long and you don't even know, right? Um, so I was really just trying to capture all of that. I feel like I should also mention Michael Patterson was my thesis mentor for this film. He was one of the co-directors behind the Take On Me music video for Aha. And he like really helped me sort of figure out like a process for doing it so I'm not just throwing stuff at the wall for a year and a half.
Very cool. Good.
You know?
I'm glad you got, some of your colleagues out there, their names.
Mm,
So good for you.
appreciate it. Yeah, shout out.
And on that note,
Mm,
how can our readers and our viewers find out more about you, more about
yeah.
your film, and tell us again when the film will show?
Yeah, so the film is showing on October 4th, 7 p.m. No, October 5th, my bad. October 5th, 7 p.m. Hollywood Queer Shorts Film Festival. That's where that's going to be. Come catch it. I'll be there. Say hi. But where you can find me online is I am on Instagram at underscore underscore Matthew underscore underscore. So that's two underscores. It's like Matthew, but with an R. That's my main thing. I need to work on my website, but we'll get there.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Like I need to get the watermark off this screen,
We
so I
all
gotta
got
get my
something.
website. Yeah. Well, we're the Hollywood Times dot today, and our YouTube channel is the Hollywood Times Official. And we wish you the best. Oh, and we are also one of the media partners of the Hollywood Queer Film Festival, Hollywood Shorts. So hopefully, maybe we will see you there.
Hey.
Okay. Thank you, Matt. And
For sure.
yeah, keep going. Keep going.
Appreciate it. Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
very new to the whole like Q&A thingy, so I like takes me a second. Like I was at this one film festival. Do you know Indie Film LA?
Yes, of course. Yes.
Okay, I was there and they're great. And I got up for the Q&A and I was just like like us animators, we stay in our little like animation dungeons and then we appear every so often. So we draw, not so much use our words, you know.
I get it. Well, like anything else, practice makes perfect. So
Exactly,
good.
exactly. All right. Well, thank you so
Okay, Matt.
much.
All
And
right.
also real quick, sorry, did you
Yeah.
say that you were going to send the transcription of the article like Did you say
Yeah,
you
I
would have done
will.
that? I forget.
I've got your email address.
Okay.
So I'm going to try to be done. It'll be done before your film shows. So,
Fire. Okay.
yeah. Okay.
Hey, well, thank you so much. I
Thank
really
you, Matt.
appreciate
All
appreciate
right.
it.
Bye-bye.
Bye.